and start the press conference.
Okay, I have a question for Craig Titus. Craig, coming into the show, there's been a lot of stuff back and forth with King Kamali. I want you to comment on that and also just talk a little bit about your work with Dorian Yates in terms of the kind of impact that it's had on your physique.
Let's see. King Kamali. Don't like him. Not at all. He's a very disrespectful man. He's got a big mouth. And he shows no respect to the veterans, as well myself. I don't have the luxury like Sean Ray does to ignore him, because Sean being 13 years, top 5 in Olympia, he can ignore fools like that.
Yeah!
Myself, I use it as a tool to market and use promotion, get my name out there even more. So if I had beaten him, I probably wouldn't even acknowledge him. Now, as far as Dorian Yates go, that's the best thing I've ever done. I could never figure out why my waistline wouldn't go down to where it was in the '96 USA. And after hiring Dorian, now it's finally back down to what it used to be. So it's the best thing I've ever done.
I have a question for Wayne. With you guys, the IFBB banning the use of Synthroid, how do you plan on enforcing that for the contest?
Quite honestly, the problem we're having is that the lab is having a tough time coming up with a test to recognize Synthroid in the urine.
Great.
They thought they had a test, they didn't. So the judges will be instructed that if the muscle looks unnatural, and you can see Synthroid under lights, they'll be instructed to vote the athlete down.
Wayne, can I acknowledge that? I talked to a physician, and ultrasound does show it. So if ultrasound testing is brought in, it will show Synthroid in the muscle.
Yeah, but it's hard for us to do ultrasound tests in the contest. That's a problem.
Okay, over here.
King, I think the trash talk is awesome. I love it. How do you feel about his comment?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that you just cannot imagine how this is just a dream come true for me. I've been dreaming about this for such a long time, and it is absolutely amazing to be sitting up here with these gentlemen and these ladies. It's just, I'm speechless. So please give everybody here a round of applause, because everyone here deserves it. As far as Titus goes, he's gone way beyond to ruin what I've worked so hard for this year. He's used every tactic known to mankind to destroy whatever I've worked hard to get, and this and that, and the Synthol comments and what have you. It's just, I beat him twice, and I'll beat him again and again and again.
Man, who you trying to fool? Acting like you don't say nothing up here. Like I'm the one trying to ruin. Go on flexonline.com. Remember, I'm distended and bald. Do you remember that? Who are you trying to fool? Don't come up here acting like you're some classy individual now. You got a big mouth. Period. And I'm not the one. I'm telling you that right now, I'm not the one.
Like I was saying, I'm in the best shape of my life. Again, thanks to my family support, my father, my mother, everybody, my grandparents, everybody who support me. Thanks to Chad, we put on 7 extra pounds of muscle since the Arnold Classic, and I'm about 10% sharper. And I guarantee you one thing, I will give it all I got Saturday, and the only thing that I can guarantee is I'll blow the roof off the joint with my posing routine. So.
Let's get ready to rumble!
One more question for Vince Taylor. I know it has nothing to do with bodybuilding, but how do you feel about cats? No comment?
That's low, Deshae, that's low. No, that's a secret little thing between Deshae and I. She's a good friend of mine. I tore a tendon in my ankle about 3 months ago chasing a cat that kept crapping in my yard. And I told her about it, so she's been riding me about it ever since. So she's trying to send me some cat nibble for dieting, so I appreciate you.
This question is for Wayne again, getting back to the judging. I know you made the comparison to professional sports, that they don't use a hat raffle, but the referees are also accountable for what they do by everyone that sees it. Now, in the IFBB, are the judges held accountable? Can the athletes look at their score sheets and see what judge placed them where? I know in the NPC, as an athlete, I'm able to look and see what judges placed me where, so I can, go up and ask judges.
Yes, they can. All they got to do is ask me. I'll send them out the breakdown sheet.
Thank you.
Yes, my question is...
Hold on a second. Did you say no or yes to that question? We can look at the total score from the judges.
No, Sean, you can ask me for the breakdown sheet and you'll get a fax to you.
I've been on this stage for 14 years, competing with Mr. Olympia. Get me started. If he can produce a sheet of paper from last year's Olympia that has the individual scores that any athlete that was in last year's Mr. Olympia has seen, it'd be the first time I've seen it. And it is also the first time I'm hearing that we can actually see the individual scores from the judges, because the paper that we are handed out, and actually the general public gets as well, is only the total score. There is no individual judges with their names next to their scores that any of the athletes have seen. And you can go down this list and ask the athletes if they've seen it, because I haven't. As a matter of fact, the last time that was implemented, one or two of the athletes got out of control and tried to attack one or two of the judges. And the judges decided at that point that they would not put their individual names to their individual scores to protect their well-being. Now I can understand that. And since that time, which I believe was 1988 or 1989, somewhere in there, I've been in 11 Mr. Olympias. And I've yet to see that type of a format ever since. And this is the first time I'm hearing that we can actually go to Wayne DeMilia and get that piece of paper, because it's never been offered. So it's hard for us as athletes to ask for something that we don't know that we have access to. That being said, I don't think that we should have to go to the IFBB president to get a piece of paper that he already has to find out the individual scores from the judges. I mean, we're all grown men. I'm 36 years old, and I think the youngest guy is about 28. Bodybuilding has changed over the years, and so have the attitudes of the athletes, and so has the prize money. And if you have one or two loose screws out there that try to attack a judge, you shouldn't penalize all the athletes because of it. This is part of why we're being held back as a sport. And to make the comparison to referees in the NFL or in the NBA as compared to bodybuilding as a sport, we know that's not true. There is no comparison to the NFL or the NBA. Otherwise, we'd be on TV on Saturday night. Said, if we're going to change anything, this is the farm. This is the farm. And if I'm shooting myself in the foot, my physique will back it up come Saturday night. So don't worry about it. This is why we have a press conference, because all of you guys complain when it's all over and done, and Ronnie's got the trophy and he's gone. And I don't like hearing it. I'm tired of hearing it. This is the forum because your input changes things. And if we hear it loud and clear and stop sitting there and being afraid to ask that question, Wayne's here for this reason. We're here for this reason. You know, to ask the question, what did we do differently last year compared to this year? Wait till you see us and you'll see what we did different. Let's get some stuff out on the table that we can change the sport so that next year's Olympia is better than this one. And we didn't do that last year. We haven't made any progress. There's nothing changing with the judges. Yeah, we have 22 judges that are in rotation. But nobody's asked the question, out of those 22 judges, how many judges judged us last year that will be judging us this year? That's a very important question to know. How many of those judges that judged me last year will be judging me this year? That's important to know. Whether we have 58 judges, 22 judges, or 12. If there's 7 of them judging me again in the consecutive year, then what have we accomplished? We haven't done anything. So those are questions that need to be asked. I mean, use your time wisely while you're here so we can make changes, so that we can increase the prize money. We have a web telecast that you can pay $10 or $25 to log on. If we have 100,000 people that log on to that at $10 a piece, that's $1 million. Our prize money's increased this year by about $25,000. There's going to be 11 guys that leave this show Saturday night with nothing in their pocket. These are issues that these kind of press conferences need to fix. Cat did to your calf and how many pieces of bubble gum and how chafed you are. Save it for later. Let's get some stuff out here. I mean, I'm hungry, you know, and I'm frustrated because you guys are the ones that email me. You guys are the ones that say out in the lobby what's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. These guys do. Let's get it out and talk about it. So when you come to the mic, thank your athletes and say whatever you got to say, but let's try to have some more content here so that these judges hear you, so that the IFBB official hears you, so that maybe some of that web telecast money trickles down to the athletes that are putting it on for these people in Australia, Germany, and Japan. $1 million is a lot of money. $110,000 may be a lot of money to the postman, but we do this 365 days a year, and that prize money for that champion's been the same for 10 years. I mean, somebody needs to address it. Ronnie's not going to complain. He gets the check every year. So who are you going to hear from? You're going to hear from me.
Yeah, you're going to hear from another judge.
And as well, the judges will have their say. The judges can have their say, but the problem that we have is that when somebody stands up in the audience to address the judges and address the judging issues, it's an open and shut place. Nobody follows it up. Wayne sat there and said that the athletes have access to a piece of paper with the individual scores. I saw that paper like 2 years of my 13, 14-year career. If that's true, come Saturday night, the paper I get hopefully will not have the judges' totals. It will have every individual judge that judged the scores in each round that they judged it, so that we get the final product, the one that they had when they judged, not the one that has no scores next to their names. I don't understand what the problem is with that, but I certainly shouldn't have to go and make a special trip to Wayne DeMillio's room to get that piece of paper. It should be with all the rest of the stuff that everybody else has. What are we hiding? So let's turn the lights on and get it out there so that every athlete got their same opportunity, equal opportunity.
Okay, Sean, you're going to hear from a
Okay, hold on one second. I'm almost finished. This is the problem I have, is that the individual judges take my comments personal.
No, this is not personal. This is not personal. I'm giving you the facts, Sean.
I know, but
I just want to give you the facts. And everybody else the facts, too.
Can I finish? I mean, I got the mic. I'm in the show. It affects my career.
Yeah, but you're going to take like an hour.
That's why we haven't moved forward, because you want to open and shut discussion. I mean, you emailed me, Deshay. You've called me and we talked on the phone.
Yeah,
You've
that's why it's nothing personal.
I know.
That's why it's nothing personal. That's why
Can I
I'm
finish my
explaining to
statement and
you.
let the other athletes get on with this? You guys want to hear Deshay talk?
Can I say something real quick?
I don't understand your
Can I say something real quick? It has to be
You're
a problem
saying I don't
somewhere.
have experience, and I do.
It has to be a problem
Wayne DeMillio would not
somewhere.
have me judging.
It has to be a problem somewhere when all the fans are booing. We put on the show, we die, we do what we have to do, okay? There's a problem every time something's announced. Everybody's booing. The people aren't stupid.
Yeah, but
Are you?
Kevin, I'm not saying, I would
There's a
be
problem
glad to
somewhere,
have
correct?
everybody look at what I scored. I don't have a problem with that.
The only thing
But
is...
Sean Ray doesn't understand that he thinks there's other judges year after year when there's not.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the Mr. Olympia, you know? There's never been a Mr. Olympia that has been beat. Why?
Because Ronnie Coleman
One time,
happens to
Kevin
be the
Smith
best.
Newton,
You know, I mean, that's all. I mean, it's just that we have certain answers that we need answered.
On
You know,
that
we have
day.
questions that we need answered. That's it, you know?
Well, then if that's
And we're
what
not trying
here
to come
for,
down on any
question
judge or
us.
anything, but...
Nobody comes and questions us. Nobody comes up and says, hey, why did you place me second? I can say,
Well,
look,
because
you know,
at this point,
is
if
this,
the
this is
athletes
that.
speak up, we're afraid we're going to be punished. Certain people are afraid
No,
they're going to be
that
punished
doesn't
because of the way they...
happen.
I'd like to say something about the
You know,
judging
That doesn't
myself.
happen. That doesn't happen on the state level or a national level.
Hello.
If anybody
Shay.
would bother to come and see
All
one.
I'm saying is there's a problem somewhere when there's booing going on with overall decision. It happened last year. It happens all the time.
To the people here in Vegas, the only reason I'm even getting involved in this issue is because Sean did mention my name. And yes, there probably is a slight chance that I will go home with no money in my pocket. Okay, but I accept that. This is my first Olympia. I turned pro in '96, and I didn't start competing until '98. Since I've been on the pro stage, I myself have been judged fairly. Until the day it comes where I think I haven't been judged fairly, I remain in a neutral position. I have been judged fairly as an athlete myself. Sean has
Hey,
been.
Craig. Pipe it down, baby. It's Paul Dillon. Listen, man, we've been training partners. You tell me many a time that you feel that you've been judged unfairly.
Yeah, until I see the tape, Paul. Until I see the tape.
That's all I'm trying to do is judge everybody fairly. And I welcome everybody to
But
look
Sean
at the
has a lot
sheets
more vast
because it
experience
doesn't
than I do,
scare
so.
me. It really doesn't scare me.
Right now, I'm here
So
back.
I
I'm here
don't
back
really
with Sean Ray.
care.
I'm
And
here
that's
back
what I'm
with
trying
Kevin
to
LeBron.
convey to
I'm ready to
Sean.
pass you off stage. You need to be This ain't about them. This is about us.
Thank you,
And,
Paul.
I'm here to say that 1997, Mr. Olympia was held on Friday and Saturday. Paul Dillon Yates, National Sabati, was in third place until Saturday night. I was announced fourth place on stage. What, 2 hours later, I heard I was fifth. Now, how do you explain this to me? Well, what kind of judges do we have? They can't count?
Paul, hold on a second.
Wayne, I had something to say.
Right.
We don't live in a perfect society. Nothing's never going to be perfect. From day one, we've been battling over this and battling over that. Nobody's ever liked everything somebody else has ever liked. I don't like ice cream. Bob don't like ice cream. Susie does. I don't like apples, and John don't like oranges. I don't like oranges either. It's always going to be a problem. In 1992, I didn't place at all in the Olympia. Didn't get a dime, didn't get $1. I didn't complain. 1994, I didn't complain when I got 15th. 1995, I didn't complain when I got 11th. 1996, I didn't complain when I got 6th. 1997, I didn't complain when I got 9th. The moral to the story is, why complain?
Well, at least I didn't get booed last year like you did, brother. And I won't get booed Saturday like you will.
All I got to say is, I'm 3-time Mr. Olympia. How many times have you won?
I'll tell you this, how about how many times have I whipped you in competitions? More than you beat me, brother.
You count
and
them
you
up.
know what?
You count them up and you tell me
More
about
than you beat me, baby.
Kevin.
You count them up and you tell me about it.
Hey,
Maybe
Kevin.
about
Kevin.
9 times.
When was the last time you beat me?
Hey, Kevin.
What have you done
Last
for me
year.
lately?
Hey, Kevin.
What have you done to me lately? I'm not living in the past. I'm trying to get better. My physique on stage on Saturday night will be better than it's ever been.
That's exactly.
I'm not competing in
What Ronnie is
1997.
saying, what Ronnie is saying,
This
Ronnie.
is 2001, baby.
Ronnie,
It's 2001.
What you're saying
Who
is
won that
exactly what's wrong with
1997
Bob
season?
Something right now. Don't
I
stick me
suggest you
down.
go back in time to
Don't pat me down.
1997.
Hey,
You
Ronnie.
beat me.
Mr.
You
Olympia.
get that
Can I get a
and bring
question
it to the
in?
stage.
I'm just a fan.
Hey,
I just
Ronnie.
paid my ticket. Can I get a question in real quick?
Ronnie, it's an orange down here, I'm talking to you. Or an apple, whatever you want to call me, apple orange. This is exactly what's wrong with bodybuilding. This ain't about you. This judging shit is not about you, bro. You are Mr. Olympia. You don't have to defend the fact that you won the contest. You're not complaining with $110,000 in your pocket.
I am.
There's going to be 11.
No, I don't complain.
There's going to be 11 guys. Ronnie, there's going to be 11 guys that are going to walk away with nothing. It's 2001.
Sean,
I just got done telling you.
I walked away with nothing. I didn't complain.
These guys are professional athletes that don't make the kind of money that you make. And for years, just listen, for years, you didn't make any money either. Luckily now, you're in a position that you are. We're trying to make it possible so that everybody
did what I
makes
had
money.
to do to get where I am. I mean, this is what's given to me. I work my butt off to get where I am.
Everybody that's
I work
here-
extremely hard each and every single day.
Ronnie, you started your conversation off by saying everybody that's here is a competitor. So that means everybody worked their ass off, right?
Yeah.
Our point here today, Ronnie, is not to fight with you and have you fight with Kevin over first and second. It's not even about the Mr. Olympia, who's better than who. We're all up here. We all earn the right to be here. And I know you know what losing's like.
I know you didn't complain about losing.
I know you didn't complain complain.
Do you guys have time for a fans question real quick? Just real quick.
I know you didn't complain, but we're not here to fight amongst each other, Ronnie. We're just trying to point out some things that are wrong with it, because you're going to be gone soon. I'll be gone soon. Kevin will be gone soon.
It all
Hopefully
seems
it'll
to
be
come
better
back
for
to
them.
me that just because I'm Mr. Olympian, I've won 3 times in a row, that something's wrong with the judges.
You're taking it
How could there
personal.
be something wrong with y'all's bodies?
You're taking it personal. You're taking it wrong.
Mr. DeMia, Mr. DeMia.
All right, we got to end this press conference. Let me just say a couple of things. One, 100,000 people don't watch that webcast. Last year we did it for free. Less than 7,000 people came in worldwide. Actual numbers, Sean, you can check with the Weeder Company. Okay, and that was for free. This year, depending on what kind of modem you have, is how much you pay. We'll see how many people log on there. So it's not $1 million or 25 million. Your math is a little off, Sean. It's 2.5 million. Would be the math correct. But anyway, we're not making $1 million. Okay? Secondly, Sean's mouth has never hurt him in a contest. Judges don't care. Sean can say what he wants. He knows I always tell him that. No problem. Third, what I will do, and this is the 3rd time in all the years I've been involved I've done this, and the other 2 times, again, we had problems with athletes confronting judges aggressively. I will instruct Carlo Tiani, who's doing this on computer, to set up the program, to give down a breakdown sheet to everybody. Okay? Everybody for every state. For the 3 shows this weekend. So not only they see it, you see it.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me. The judges are supposed to stand behind their score. Okay?
Yeah, well, this is the last thing. Sean, all that stuff you're talking about, man, this is what it's all about. This industry here is a billion-dollar industry, and it's a big industry until all these athletes can come together and understand that it's ran like pimps and hoes, and you're gonna either be one or the other. And if y'all can't come together and start making some demands, it'll never change. You're gonna either be a pimp or you're gonna be a hoe. And that's what it's all about.
I'm a pro. Hey, Wayne,
That's what it is. Pimps and hoes.
Wayne, let me say one thing before we close this press conference down.
I ain't no hoe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to say before we close this press conference down that I'm really happy to be here. I was here September 29th in Vegas, guest pose at the Vegas Classic. My wife and I just moved here, bought a home. We're really looking forward to performing for you guys.
Can't wait.
Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I will take, the other thing I wanted to say is, this has been a fun press conference. I enjoyed it. And I will bring the judges here next year because it'll make more fun. So I will have the judges at the press conference next year. Thank you for coming. We'll see you at Meet the Olympians tonight. Take care.